So Gateshead Food Partnership is a collaboration of people and organisations across Gateshead who are looking at a joined-up whole system approach to healthy, nutritious, delicious, environmentally sustainable, culturally appropriate food that is affordable and accessible for all people in Gateshead.
So we work in the outer west of Gateshead, and we use the food that we rescue and we share it out with the community in very sympathetic ways. And I run things in school, like venues like this in school, to teach people how to cook. I teach adults, I teach children, anyone who wants to learn really. But it's about the food waste as much as it is about helping people who might be struggling. They get to try new things at workshops that I do. I do challenge them quite a lot about where things come from and how we shouldn't waste. It's about the food waste and about them being waste warriors at home and rescuing food at home and not throwing things out.
When we didn't know it, you could probably just look at the expired date and then just hire it out. However now, so you can look at it and you can still keep it and eat it.
Because I used to waste food all the time when they were just one little bit brown, but when I learned with Hannah, I knew that I could just cut that off and then eat the rest.
Well, there's quite a lot of need, and since COVID there was a lot of need, and then we were there to be able to deliver, and that's just continued after COVID. And this cost of living crisis that we're all sort of experiencing. And currently we help feed around 400 people a week. And I see that slowly increasing.
Too many people in Gateshead are not able to access or afford good food. Too many people are suffering from health problems related to the food that they eat. Healthy life expectancy is almost 15 years lower if you live in Selling in East Gateshead than if you lived in Wickham. Those inequalities are really stark.
Today we are getting ready for our community market, so people will bring along any donations and we'll sort out our food ready for our food pantry. The food pantry is open to anybody, there's no criteria to meet. The community can come along, they can pay £4 if they're able, and they're given a basket and they can go along the food pantry and choose up to 12 items that can be fresh, frozen, tinned, cleaning products, baby items. It gives them a chance to be able to buy good food at a reduced price. I have just under 30 volunteers. They come from all backgrounds, so they help with a range of things. I couldn't run Embles without them.
It's easy enough to go into a shop and get a ready meal than what it is to cook something. So the service here provides low-cost food that people can afford. And then they can go on to make better meals and better choices.
Coming up to 2 years that Embles has been running, I've seen a massive increase in food provisions. And I think that's because a lot more working people, working families are struggling to be able to find the money to buy the food. Food is so expensive.
Food is a part of all of our life. We all eat, and so the food system touches health and economy and environment. So it is something that, in order to tackle some of these really important problems in Gateshead around health inequalities and poverty around food, needs to have a kind of systems-wide approach with lots of different people and voices involved.
We supply fresh fruit and vegetables across the north, roughly around 5.2 million packages a year. We initially met with Gateshead Council back January this year, and we got on to talking about the Gateshead Food Partnership, and we're really excited to get involved and glad that we can help in some way towards this. So we now have contacts at Gateshead Food Bank, for example, so that if we do have any stock over, anything that we need to get rid of very quickly, we can just ring somebody up directly rather than taking a chance and just turning up on someone's doorstep. Obviously, we see a lot on the news about cost of living prices. It isn't always easy to get fresh fruit and veg. So, yeah, everyone's really excited to be able to help out.
And the food system is a huge, complex beast, but it is something that has to be done in partnership and with lots of different people playing into it. So I'm really excited to be just coordinating that and bringing all these different projects together. So Peace of Mind is one of those examples of projects that are really at the coalface of addressing poverty and food insecurity. They support the refugee and asylum-seeking community. Around 100 people come to their drop-ins every week who receive a food parcel. They have language lessons. It is also really addressing a really urgent and important need, and it's heartbreaking to see the need in that community in central Gateshead. The North East region is the highest area for food insecurity in the UK, and Gateshead in particular has high risk around food insecurity. We know that there are many people in Gateshead that are completely destitute with no food in their cupboards. Emergency food support from food banks is needed, but we're also really keen to be building that kind of capacity in organisations so that people don't have to get to that emergency support level, that people are able to have the knowledge, the skills, the capabilities, the community that they need to not have to get to that emergency support level, or if they do, to get out of it as quickly as possible with kind of lots of wraparound support that they need.
Yeah, so the village of Topwell, a bunch of local residents got together sort of 5-6 years ago now, decided they wanted to do something for the village because shops were closing down, the high street was getting quieter and quieter, and they wanted to just sort of regenerate the village. What we do is just listen to the community, see what they need, and if we can facilitate it, we'll put it on. But most of it is sort of centred around food here. Today we've got the community market opens on a Thursday. It's food that's been saved from landfill, that's perfectly fresh. Some of it's funded, some of it's donated by locals as well. But what I find is it breaks that stigma. We don't call it a food bank, we call it the community market. And what we say to people is, by shopping here, you're saving money and you're saving the planet as well. And it takes that stigma away of asking for help, you know.
Since this has been here, this is drawing everybody in, you know. And you can come and fill a bag for £2, you know. I wash the dishes. I occasionally do some preparation of food. I've learned so much coming here. I've made friends. I've learned how to make certain dishes in the kitchen because I can't cook. But all in all, I just love it.
I've got 3 children. I'm a single dad. I like coming to the bank because it's a friendly atmosphere. The people who work here are really kind and generous and try and help if they can. And the food's nice. And they do little activities for the children.
I was on my own a lot, and I'm a people person. So I came here very nervous. Chopwell wouldn't be Chopwell without this place. It was just heaven.
We have a board over there where people can buy coffee or a meal for a stranger. A token's popped on the board, it's right next to the till, and then they will literally come in, just take the token, choose what food they want, and there's no stigma of having to ask for. It's really just sweet, you don't have to ask for free food or anything.
They can pay by using their time or money and skills as well as contributing a donation. And I think that is a really empowering model. Some of these organisations are doing amazing things to support their local community, to bring people together around food.
We're a community garden and we welcome people in, refugees and asylum seekers mainly, but also members of the community to come in and enjoy the space and help us to grow food here. We take the ethos of producing our own food and we try to teach people how to look after the food and look after the crops to make sure that we get a good harvest at the end of the day.
Sometimes we have a cooking club, we have the gardening, and we cook and share food to each other, and just to come and have a relaxing moment and make new friends and learn new skills.
And like what I just did today was some kind of pruning of the tomato and then some weeding. I love plants, I love farming, and I love nature. So seeing that I can produce what I eat gives me some kind of joy.
Nature is something that's everywhere, regardless of North America, the African continent, Asia. It's everywhere. So when you come to a place like this, it doesn't matter what language you speak and where you come from. This is something universal. You don't feel left out, the sense of belonging and community.
It has made a big impact in my life because we're now like a family here.
We've got a huge challenge ahead. There's a lot that we could be doing. I really think food is a social glue that brings people together and makes us equal over a shared meal. And so it's amazing to see the number of projects across Gateshead that are doing that.